Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another daily quest. Today's very simple 20 Gruul colored spells, red or green. So, we are going to play Gruul Power. We've seen the deck before. Not a whole lot has changed. I decided, so we'll just go top to bottom real quick. Llanowar Elves and Druids, clearly for ramp. Ditto Draconic Disciple, although it's a little bit slower, and it has the bonus of being able to turn into a 5/5 if it goes late game. Unlike one of these, if you draw it on turn 13 or 14, it's not just a dead draw. Rabid Bite for removal, for stuff that gets to be problems early on. Grow from the Ashes is ramp that works without creatures still being on the battlefield. And then we get into the real meat of the deck. These first several spells here are all just to get us to the late game. Inferno Hellion is not technically a late game, but it works very well with Sarkhan's Unsealing. Cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, and it deals 4 damage to any target. Cast a creature spell with power 7 or greater, however, and it does 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. This is kind of the reason that I splashed red instead of black in this. There's a lot of really strong Golgari support spells, but when I saw Sarkhan's Unsealing, I said, you know, this sort of plays right into my hand. This is exactly what I want to be doing. I want to get stuff on the board. I want to destroy the stuff that gets in the way. So, how do we get stuff on the board? We ramp, and we make them cheaper with Goreclaw. Goreclaw is a 4 cost, so he triggers it once. Not bad. I mean, if you've been playing this game since M19 came out, you probably are pretty likely, pretty aware of what this big old bear does. He buffs your creatures, he gives them trample even if they didn't have it to begin with, although I believe most of them have trample. Vivien Reid, late game, helps us dig, helps deal with flyers, because as you can see, if we don't have a Rabid Bite and a creature on board, flyers are just gonna pretty much wallop us. Against weenies and stuff, we can always chump with the druids up here, but she helps us deal with flyers. But her main thing is to dig and refill our hand, because once again, all we need to be doing is casting creatures to wipe a board. Affectionate Indrik is a 2-for-1 usually, a 1-for-1 in worst case scenario, or at least a chump blocker late game if necessary. But it has a 4 power, so it can trigger the Unsealing. Carnage Tyrant. Everyone knows Carney T, the old dinosaur wearing knee pads. That's very difficult for anyone to deal with. Originally the deck had 1. I pulled another. I said it had to go in here. Pulled another, and there you go. We have 3 now. If I get a 4th, it'll go here. Pelakka Wurms. These are the ones that got replaced with the Carnage Tyrants. Again, 7 power, 7 power. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of the ones that helps you start pulling the game out of the gutter when you're up against aggro. These big, hideous, giant worm creatures. Ugh. I remember when this was first printed, I want to say it was, I can't remember the set. Rise of the Eldrazi, maybe? I know it was an uncommon. I actually kind of wish it were an uncommon, because I would probably include more of them. I just don't want to burn rare on a Pelakka Wurm. Anywho, gain 7 life, so it's immediate advantage. Cast it, and you wipe the board again. And then if it dies, it replaces itself. So, I mean, it's like, if it had any kind of shroud or something, or any kind of evasion other than trample, this would be one of the greatest creatures ever printed. But what can you do? It's just dandy as it is. And, of course, Ghalta, Primal Hunger, the king of the dinosaurs himself, the 12/12 for 12 that gets cheaper. It's doubly affected by Goreclaw. It's like they were meant to go together, dinos and bears. And then, just to seal the deal, Banefire. It can be spot removal. If we ramp real hard, it can go to face uncounterable. And then, from then on, it's just lands. We've got 19 basics and 5 non-basics for a total of 24. Sometimes flooding can be an issue when you've got all these creatures, so I might drop this down to 23 at some point and put another high power creature. Like if I get my 4th Carnage Tyrant, I might just replace a land with it, but not sure. Either way, it's fairly well balanced as is. It operates well even without Sarkhan's Unsealing, but Unsealing is... It really oils the engine, especially against aggro. Red-white being my favorite, because they don't have a whole lot that can deal with 4 damage across the board. So we're going to be playing as John. Not some special John, just regular John. And this is not a great hand. We might draw into something, though, because we are on the draw. Opponent goes first. Okay. Okay, well, that's... We drew into something. I mean, good God. Alright. Opponent putting immediate pressure. This is going to be one of those sacrifice-based decks, I'm guessing. The Inferno Hellion can only attack once, and then it has to be shuffled in. So, okay, we're looking at zombies. It means we need to leave this 1/1 as much as possible. We'll drop the Crag and pass go. This is a boring start. I should have... oh, dear. Maybe I should have mulliganed this, but you know what? It's too late now. Can't undo it. Alright. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I'm not going to block. If one of those Death Barons comes at me, it's getting humphed. But he's playing black, so this is the first creature I've played. The odds of it surviving a turn are slim. Yep. No surprise. Taking 7. Making this guy think his deck is amazing. Okay. Well, we gotta find something, so we're gonna plus Vivien. Hopefully they'll attack her instead of me, gain some life. Affectionate Indrik is oh my god, did I really click the wrong... okay. You know what? We're done. Affectionate Indrik was exactly what I needed, but because my game decides it likes to lag all the time, I clicked Llanowar Elves, and at that point I was done. So, not a great one. We casted a total of 2 spells. It's okay. We're gonna... That game never happened. Might edit it out in post. That's another one of those things that happens electronically that will never happen in real life. No one will ever look at those 3 and then accidentally choose the Llanowar and not put it back. You know what I mean? Okay, we've got dual Sarkhan's Unsealing. This is a very boring hand with absolutely no ramp once again. So, let's just hope we survive. Black-white, that's great. That usually means we're looking down a bunch of creatures. Sarkhan's Unsealing is going to hose them. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh no! He's drawing cards. What are we gonna do? I happen to know for a fact that black has a hard time dealing with enchantments, but white can. So I'm really glad we have 2 of them here. Alright, we're gonna be taking 1 this turn. What are these? What is black-white weenie or something? Oh man, this Unsealing is gonna get them good. He's gonna flip Legion's Landing. Probably buff all of his creatures. Are these all vampires? Okay, this is definitely just vampires then. Okay. Danto Vanguard is a vampire. Holy crap. You know, sometimes you just learn things. Well, Goreclaw has to be the one that comes down first. I think we're going to kill the lifelinker first. Not going to worry about the Vanguard. It's not a whole lot I can do about that. Next turn, we kill 2 things, depending on what he plays. We can Indrik. If it's something huge, we can Indrik, deal 4 damage, and then fight it to trade. Okay, see, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. We want to see him tap most of his mana. Okay. Okay. We're not going to be doing that because didn't draw the untapped mana. Or I played the wrong one last turn. I thought I had played that already. My mistake. 2. Instead, we are going to do what I consider to be sort of a waste here, but we're way behind. I can take 3. I can't take 6 plus whatever that thing flips. I don't need him getting more card advantage right now. And Wanda is going to die so hard. Oh my goodness. Kill her. Comes into play. Fight that. Alright. And we got a 1.5 for 1. But he used 4 mana to do that. We used 6 mana to kill the creature and the recursion. So I don't know. It's probably a fairly even trade. Alright, now what we need to draw is creatures. And that's going to die because it's what that deck does. He is now in top deck mode. We are now in I'm probably screwed mode unless I draw something that's like a Carnage Tyrant. Nope. And I didn't. I never would. So, like I said, this deck has power, but that was a very boring opening. I did nothing for way too long. I am no longer going to be keeping hands that don't have immediate ramp and something to do. So that could have been good, but learned my lesson on that one. This deck has consistency. It's actually not consistently bad. Most of the time it plays as intended. But some days it feels like it wants to go one way or another. It feels like you've got 3 copies of Sarkhan. No matter how you shuffle the library, it's going to be in the bottom 5 cards in some order. And then some days you draw 3 of them and no creatures. Okay, so regardless, I feel like this is going to be a good one. We are going to go turn 1 Llanowar instead of Timber Grove turn 2 Druid. Opponent is trying to determine whether or not he wants to keep his 7. He is. Okay. Turn 1 Llanowar Elves, go. I like that this is full art, but it's not my favorite. I mean, it looks good for what it is, but some of the others I just like the way they look better. Okay, blue-black tap land. I can deal with that. So, since we've only got 2 mana, I'm not going to bother attacking. I'm going to play the Druid of the Cowl. We're going to play the tap land, and we're going to pass turn. This is where he plays a spell that rips something out of our hands. He chooses... Oh, okay. Seal away. That's totally fine, actually. It sets us back a turn, but... does it really? Only need 1 of these to survive. I'm sorry, 1 of these can die. I only... Oh man, this is just going to get better. Okay. Carnage Tyrant. Counter it. Nope. Not going to counter it. That is the power of Carnage Tyrant on that early a turn. He had no idea we had the second one in hand, but that game was not going to go well for him. We are 12 of 20. I'll probably play a little bit beyond the 20 spells. I have nothing to do until about 1:45 p.m. and then I have to take Nikolai into the vet. He has done something to one of his claws it's swollen and it's got him walking funny, so I want to get that taken care of as soon as I can. Okay, this has some promise. I kind of wish that Banefire was something else right now, but that's okay. We can use it if necessary. Sarkhan's Unsealing would make that great. Hello, opponent. Vod Kaiser. Ooh, green on green, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have a match here. Let's see what his second color is. Money says black. It's almost always black. Or just mono green. That's the other option. Okay. Welp. No reason not to run this out there. It's there for Sarkhan's Unsealing. I just want him to think this is a bad deck, you know? Like, who runs that crap? Well, it's a 4-cost that can wipe the board if you've got the right stuff. Okay, Goreclaw. So he is going to have to die ASAP. We're going to do that now, in fact. I would hold this, but no, that guy has to go. Get in there. Let's shuffle him. And see? I get to draw him again, possibly. Possibly. It's never guaranteed. He's only got 5 mana now, which means he's limited. He cannot do Carnage T this turn. He can do that, though. Good God. That's going to be a problem. So, it can be trumped all day, at least. No attacks. The plan at this point is to hope he doesn't have a Rabid Bite, play the Pelakka Wurm, block... Oh God, this is over. This is the problem. It's all about who draws what first. Well, I mean, we're just going to take the 10. Hell with it. We're gaining 7 this turn. That's the only choice that we have. 17, block 7, that leaves 15. If he attacks with everything, that's game. Yeah. Well, sometimes they draw better than you do. That was not a bad hand. We played it exactly as we could, but what are you going to do? A Ghalta that early on? We are not in the colors to deal with that in any way other than get our own Ghalta on board. It's a creature like that that makes you wonder why they ever changed that legendary rule. I should be able to play my own and kill them both. The typical 12 mana removal spell. I'd really like to have one decent game that doesn't just go Carnage Tyrant end. I kind of want a game where, you know, like, actually do something and kill something. Okay. Well, we've got ramp. We'll keep it. Are we on the draw? Juan Manuel Cuevas Gil. I wonder if his last name was cut off or if it's actually just Gil. Okay, so I think we do play the Llanowar just in case we draw a Druid. That way we can play... or land. If we draw a land, we can just grow from ashes. So... one or the other. If not, we're getting in for one next turn. We will be at 20 and they will be at 19. You know, if they don't do what every deck seems to want to do now and gain life on turn 1. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Druid. Druid the Cowl. Timber Gorge. Pass turn. And Gruul's coming up in the next expansion. So, we're going to be getting some cards to possibly add to this. Maybe swap out some things for other things. Okay. Say goodbye to Carnage T. He's going to steal it from my hand. That's the only thing that he needs to be worried about in this. So, unless he just really doesn't want me to ramp. Oh my goodness, really? Does he have another one? Surely he has a kill spell for this. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I don't have it now. He's seen my hand. There's no way he doesn't have another way to rip something out of my hand. Like, that's the only reason that he should take that spell. I'm so confused right now. He really wants to protect that freeboot or something fierce, doesn't he? Okay, well, I mean, you asked for it. I mean, if that's what you want. I won't attack this turn. I will wait until I have my Banefire next turn and my 7/6. See what he plays. It's unlikely he'll play anything we can't just crash down with a Banefire anyway, or at least get that Storm Tamer out of the way. Hit it for 1. I'd love to draw a Rabid Bite. That would be fancy schmancy. Okay, Goreclaw looks like he's dead. No surprise. That bear, it is always bear season. Okay, that seems to me like a really less awesome approach to swing for 8. Do we need to lead extra back? No. It's not like Banefire's an instant. Okay. He can swing back for 3 if he wants to. So that has to become sacrificed as soon as it becomes the target of a spell. You got it, man. Come back in for 4. No blockers at all. Just pure guts. Chart away, sir. Because this game is officially over now. Okay. 7, 6, 5 damage, and then I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to face. Okay. If he blocks. Five to face. Can't counter it. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. Quite clearly a misplay on his part not to take Carnage Tyrant. He was sitting on, you know, kill spells for anything else I did. All I was doing at that point was ramping. Without him making that misplay, we would have probably struggled that game. Which tells me that one thing that this deck could use is Fiery Cannonade. 2 damage to each non-pirate creature. However, those were all pirates, weren't they? This makes me want to brew a Naya deck. Because Naya opens other things. It makes me want to get rid of the early creature ramp and go into the board clear. I think I might have to do that. I will likely do that and record another video today. Huh. Oh, this is the Primal Fury deck. I clicked on the wrong one. I might actually just delete this deck. Itali, when he attacks, exile, he casts any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. Oh, man. I love the art on that card. See, I mentioned in a previous video that Raymond Swanland is one of my favorite artists. And this is not typical for what he does. And it's just amazing. I love the way that guy looks. He looks so angry. Yeah, we're doing Naya build. Plus there's that. There are those Naya creatures that are just insanely expensive. I think they're both mythics. Let's get back over here. Whoops. Zakama. 9/9 Vigilance. Reach Trample? I did not realize he had Reach. Oh my goodness. If you cast it, untap all lands. He can deal 3 damage to target creature. Destroy an artifact or enchantment. Gain 3 life. Man, if ever there was a commander to build around, it's this guy. He does it all. And he does it all for the low cost of 9. Wait a minute. Vigilance, Trample, Reach. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. Okay. So this guy leans more toward the green side with Reach and Trample. And this guy leans more toward the red with Haste. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from top of your library. Put a dinosaur. Okay, so this is really just a dinosaur guy. He would be a great he'd be a great commander if there were more dinosaurs. I just don't know how many there are. Palladia Moors, Flying Vigilance Trample, Hexproof if it hasn't dealt damage yet. That's a fun idea. Ramp into that and then just slam a bunch of enchantments on it and then whack them for 20. Okay, so I think Naya might be the build. Obviously I'm not going to use either of these, but there are other things that I can do. Let me add some white in there. And, whoops. Can I not? Okay, there we go. Take off the mythic. Actually, just reset that all together. Red, white, and green. Let's get down here. Look at some other ideas. Here's our red-green stuff. Nothing that we haven't seen there. So red-white. Ooh. Resurgence would be great. Get a big fatty out there like a Carnage Tyrant. Give him first strike and vigilance and then attack again with him on the same turn. Because you play him for 6, you've got the mana to untap and play Resurgence. I like that idea, but that might be too much. What's the other option on that? 5 damage. Okay, so I mean, it's removal if not. That could be an option. I have 2 of those. I mean, it's not like I need to drop 4 spots for it or anything. Oh, that's too good right there. Ooh. And this is going to be really good with the next set that's coming out. The next set has the green card that for 2 green mana or 2 hybrid Simic mana, you can counter that lose the game ability. Alright. We're going to do some brewing. We're going to figure out what we can do with this. Plus that would open up Selesnya stuff. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. This is going to be fun. But for now, this video has come to a close. We have finished our daily quest. We won a total of 2 games doing it. 1 by playing a Carnage Tyrant, 1 by a Banefire to the face. And look forward to something else from me later today. I appreciate y'all stopping in. Take care.